All right, Nick, how you doing?
Ooh, oh my gosh, I'm still dying.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
not that's
sorry.
not true. I'm on the very tail end of it. So I'm not contagious,
That's
but I'm
good.
just congested.
Yeah, no, I feel like I think that's how Heather's feeling right now. But in terms of the game, I am
Oh, I'm
very,
feeling
very
great.
worried. So I am behind, not somewhere where I thought I'd be, but I'm also very excited in terms of what this game could be and the future games we're going to do. We have a little bit more time to get all these done before set release, given that the delay of
Yeah.
Seeds of Unity. In many cases, it's not just 2 weeks; it's almost up to 4 weeks for people to have these in their hands. So we may be able to get through it all. Um,
Yeah, it's wild.
so you're ahead. You've won 3 matches. I've won two. Now we're talking about
Oh,
Afanas, probably one of the most least used characters since they got the nerf a little while ago. And talking about nerfs, we've had a few more changes that came out today, but we won't focus on that. We will do that on our podcast once it gets released in the coming days. But why don't you take
correct.
us through your deck? How did you build Afanas?
So, don't ask me because I don't really know. So the main thing that I was focusing on was a nice balance between spells and characters.
hmm
Um, you'll notice that I only have 3 permanents in this deck.
I'm surprised you even have permanents.
Well, that's the main reason because I kept Scholar's Vault in
hmm
mostly as an option to keep my reserve as open as possible.
Mm.
Like I know that Izmir has a lot of sabotage, but that was something that I just really wanted to focus on was making sure that I had a stacked reserve the entire time. And then um, you'll notice that I have 2 spells that are rares in this deck. 3 Bravo Signets and 2 Meditation
hmm
Trainings. And that was because I chose to focus on, you know, a lot of boosts, but also you'll notice that I have red in this deck.
Yeah,
So
I
the
know.
idea was to like, yeah, trust me. The idea was to hopefully like keep red around long enough to be annoying, basically. Like maybe get a Bravo Signet out, for 3 boosts and ramp on top of it.
hmm
Um, but genuinely, I don't really know what I was trying to go for. You'll notice that I have like Kurakami, I have Hungers.
Yeah, there's a little bit of
Uh,
exhaust here. There's a lot of boosts.
yeah,
Like you're kind of going mid range. You can go any way depending on how the game will progress. Spycraft I have not seen for a long time, and you've got those in here as well.
yeah. Again, I was trying to focus on some resupply aspects.
hmm
So like Spycraft. There's resupply on Scholar's Vaults, draws on Baba Yaga. Let's see, draws on Magical Training, draws and Sabotage on Izmir Signet. Just that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
2 Conjuring Seals. So I was really trying to make sure that I had as much advantage as possible
hmm
while being able to control a little bit of your resources. So you'll
Yeah.
notice that with the Baku, with the Kuraukamis,
Yeah.
um, that kind of stuff.
Interesting. And looking at your deck, it makes a lot more sense as we played how you were. Even though you said you don't know how your deck built it, there is this control. Basically, that's the way I'd like to call it: control and optionality by having a lot of card draw. On my end, mine is very different. I actually chose to play the Hua Mulan style build, so I can continue to replay a character. So you can see I don't have that many characters per se. Same as you, we both don't. You don't need many characters in Afanas, so you want to try to stick them around. And for me, rather than using the anchoring mode, I use the Hua Mulan to be able to just constantly play it out. Um, I also
Yeah.
looked for some level of. I wanted to constantly disrupt you, not by discarding, but by playing with your reserve, freezing your reserves by exhausting it. Now, that was the initial game plan. We're going to see how that goes in terms of fruition. But I also had Caladrius in there, which you didn't have, and then the Studious Disciple from being able to discount something from reserve if I needed to play it that way as well. Moth to a
So
Flame was the one that a card that I really loved as well.
yeah, I'll tell you this: the reason why I didn't play Caladrius was because I played Izmir Engraver.
hmm
Because I figured having an extra boost
hmm
on Izmir Engraver and being able to discard, because Izmir Engraver lets you do basically the same thing. The only difference is that you have to do it from reserve, and it costs the same amount anyway, right? So I figured having a better stat coverage was
Yeah,
better than having Caladrius
that makes a lot of sense. And
in
for
this
me,
specific scenario.
yeah, and me, I put the Caladrius in given I thought you were going to use a lot of characters that were just one cost, so it's easy to get rid of.
Yeah.
Winter Nova was like my, you know, it'd be fun if I could get it off. Right, that's the
Yeah,
other card.
that
Yeah,
was your Hunger Kuraokami
yeah.
like late game. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
That and the Moth to a Flames was hopefully where I wanted to go. But let's
Oh,
let's have a
I
look
was
at.
so mad I didn't put Moth to a Flame in mine. I love that card so much. It's such a good card. Moth to a Flame and Moth to a Spring are severely underrated in my opinion.
They're great. I think in Moyo they're even better because you get the
Yes.
benefit of getting the 2/2/2 Mana Moth out. But let's have a look at it.
Yeah.
So this is what you can see in front of you is my opening hand, which I had Evanescence, Moth to a Flame, Shiva, Rhymefrost,
Oh
Belasenka, and
gosh.
Studious Disciple. Lots of great choices available to me. Um, and what I'll do is I'll just show you what I ended up picking out of my six. While we're going through there, what were the six cards that you
Holy
had in your
crap.
hand?
So I drew into a Spycraft, an Izmir Engraver, Studious Disciple, a Bravo Signet, a Pomola, and a Bravo Signet. So 2 of my 5 cost spells immediately in the opening, and I was like, well, that sucks. So ultimately, I decided to keep both Bravo Signets and a Pomola.
Nice.
Like I said, I don't know why, but I figured the boosting would help tremendously at some point.
Yeah. Unfortunately, on my end, the BGA's got some issues where you don't get to see what's in my hand. But I basically got rid of Belasenka, Rhymefrost, and Shiva, and I kept Moth to a Flame. I'm just reading through here. Studious Disciple, and I kept Evanescence
Yeah.
as my cards. And I'm sorry, I already showed that you ended up playing your Pomola. That's really good because you can discount it the next day, like use its ability.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I love Pomola. Pomola is such a good card in my opinion. I don't
mhm.
care what anybody says. 2 for 3/2 for 0/3/2, and then you get to exhaust something as a free ability. It's just, and even if you don't, it's phenomenal stats.
Yeah, you're more than likely going to win on that first day because you get the three stats in Mountain. Very difficult to overcome. And then on my side, I ended up just playing the Studious Disciple, nice and easy, trying to see if you had any one cost that you would actually try to hurt me. But knowing the way Afanas works, in many cases, you're only really going for a one for one. You're only going on one side, unless you've got something fun. And it looks like you ended up passing, keeping everything
Yeah,
else.
because I have the 2 Bravo Signets in hand.
I can't believe you kept both. Um,
Ugh.
on my
You see,
end,
I here for some reason I thought that ramp was going to be more beneficial than I thought it was.
mhm. I ended up playing Evanescence because I could send to reserve a character with hand cost 2 or less, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be able to play Evanescence out, get the 1/0 improvement. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. But the hard part with Evanescence is it's 4 from reserve, so it may do me in a
Yeah,
little bit later, but it is beneficial.
I mean that's true. Like it genuinely with the assumption that you're probably going to be playing Moth to a Flame or something like that, it's not a bad card to have because technically speaking, Afanas cares all about spells,
hmm
right? So getting this up to 3 for like to have to send a reserve target character with hand cost 5 or less, that's wild.
It is. I look. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to make the screen a little bit smaller so you can see what I've got on the side. Hopefully, that's a little bit better. You can see. And actually, I had them off to a flame, so I'm like, it makes sense where I can get
Yeah.
some level of benefit, but we will see how it ends up working. Um, so I drew in another Rhymefrost and another Belasenka is what I drew this time round on my end. What did you draw on your second day?
I drew a Banishing Gate and a Baba Yaga.
Oh, okay.
So here's where
Lots
it
of
starts
spells.
because I throw down the Banishing Gate to mana
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, here we go. Here's the train. We're gonna start. We're gonna start getting card advantage. So here's the interesting point, right? Is that technically speaking, we're even in terms of what the availability that we have to play,
Mm-hmm.
right? because you have 4 cards total, 2 reserve, 2 hand, and I have 3 in hand, 1 in reserve. So in my mind, I'm thinking I have a better position as of right now
Hmm.
for this.
Yeah, and I'm never safe playing against any Afanas because you don't know the build these days, or at least we don't have enough repetition to be able to know. I
Yeah.
ended up getting rid of my second of the Belasenka in terms of what I could have done. Just maybe I should have played it, but I ended up playing Rhyme Frost to begin with to exhaust your card in reserve. But the hard part is I'm getting no benefit from doing that. And once again, we know that because of what happens with the how what do you call it, the nerf that happened, like any one cost spell now goes directly to reserve, so you don't
Yep.
get a good benefit, but at least I'm getting my arcane counter up on Evanescence.
Yeah, so you are missing the boost, and it does immediately gain fleeting, so it
Hmm.
doesn't. It goes straight to discard basically, which sucks. Um, but again, I kind of agree. I kind of agree with the nerf.
Yeah, me too. I think it was needed, and there's plenty more nerfs to come. Well, we'll see. All right, so on your end, what did you end up doing, because you couldn't play out your Belasenka, so that may have changed your game plan substantially.
Well, so I did play out the Baba Yaga, so played it out, and then drew into a Studious Disciple.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, all right, we this is a great position to be in, actually, because at this point, the Baba Yaga is not really going to do anything for me. So I don't really have to worry about um, like the 5 cost spells in my hand because I have a Studious Disciple that can help discount stuff.
That's correct. So you want to keep that around for the next day. On my side, I ended up discounting getting rid of the Studious Disciple myself so that I could play the Manamoth on my turn,
Yeah, that was
basically
wild.
allowing me to progress potentially on both sides, depending on what you had. And then because of Afanas' ability, I basically said I'm going to add the boost to my right hand side. So even if you add a boost through a spell, I can still progress on mountain. That was my thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll notice that Chile being ahead was kind of a trend for most of this game. So, and then I played out the Studious Disciple, because again, I didn't really care about matching stats. I cared about getting it out to discount.
Hmm. And the thing here that's interesting, I'm like, okay, I'm doing pretty well. I'm going to be 3 advances ahead. You're going to have to get rid of a card from your hand. Um, sorry, from your
Reserve.
reserve.
Yeah.
And I didn't know which one you were going to do. I thought you were going to do Baba Yaga, and you ended up doing that, which is good because I think the other ones had discount abilities that could potentially help you.
Yeah. Yeah. So here's where this ultimately starts to get real interesting from my end,
Hmm.
right? So, what did you draw into?
So
Because your hand was empty at this point.
yeah, I drew into a Baba Yaga and a Huamulan.
Nice.
And you?
I drew into a Baku and a Shiva.
Ugh.
So I immediately threw that Shiva straight down into the dirt because I knew exactly the plan that I was going to have because I was on the play here.
You were. And then on my end, I'm like, I had no inkling that you had a Baku.
Yeah. So this is where this gets real fun for me because here's the thing: you have to remember, I was immediately thinking that I was gonna just discount the Bravos Signet and just take whatever L came my way, right? Because I didn't have anything to boost and I didn't have anything to send to reserve or to discard with to return to your hand, right? So I was
Hmm.
like, well, that kind of sucks. I don't have anything to boost and I don't have anything to send back. But then the Baku comes out and I was like, we are still in this. I don't care.
And it looks
So
like,
yeah,
and you, yeah,
immediately play out the Baku.
and I have nothing in hand. I'm like, oh my goodness, what can I do?
Yeah. Now,
Um,
see, here's the issue though, is that from this point, I actually made a mistake. I should have exhausted something first. That was my first mistake.
yeah,
Um,
you should have probably exhausted my Moth to a Flame because that would have meant I could not have any characters out.
exactly. So that was where I messed up just a little bit.
So, and on my end, I had no choice. I had no, so I'm going to be able to play out um, the Moth to a Flame, and that allowed me to basically add an extra boost to the hero side to force you to play an extra card and maybe allow me to advance, especially because your two cards in reserve did not have any forest. So it was going
Yeah.
to be difficult for you to be able to match, unless once again you did the same thing as last turn where you oversaturated your reserve.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So I still get a double advance though. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing great. You haven't moved. You've stayed stellarly silent and still for a little while.
We call this the eye of the hurricane, Chili.
And then you
This
get
is
the
this is the
Baku did
calm
it.
before the
Yeah,
storm.
and the Baku did its job. You're like you're happy to get rid of it, but I have got nothing available to me, and
Yeah,
that is
at
hard.
this point I knew if I could get you down to, because here's the thing. Early game, you never want to not be manning.
Hmm.
You never want to miss a mana drop until you hit at least 8 mana,
Yeah, depending on
which
the game, like
sucks.
eight is usually where I go to in many cases. But I play
Yeah,
Sigismar. I could go for anywhere between 6 and 8, depending on what I've got in hand. So I drew a
right.
Caladrius and I drew a Snowball Commando, both of which were good. But I'm also mindful. Like the Caladrius doesn't help me on day one. Um,
Yeah.
the Snowball Commando does though. So in that
Yeah,
case, I got
100%.
rid of the Caladrius because I'm playing first. Um, and I'm like, I might as well boost. I'm hoping you don't have anything that plays with my reserve, because then I can at least play both cards out. Ended up playing
Right.
Snowball Commando, targeting. I'm trying to remember what I targeted. I targeted your
Yeah,
Pomola,
which was smart, honestly.
and then I get a 1. So I rolled the dice, and I'm like, well, that's my turn. And once again,
Yeah,
for those that
that's
don't know
fair.
Snowball Commando, it's a really fun card. Like you're really very Lyra centric here. You run the risk. I can exhaust a card when I play from reserve, but if I roll a 1 to 3, then you get to exhaust something back, and that's what you
Yeah,
did.
honestly, I love Snowball Commando. It's such a good card in my opinion.
You and
But see,
Cole,
here's the
Cole
thing.
loves it too.
Yeah, here's the thing. I drew into an Izmir Signet and a Hunger.
Oh jeez.
So I was like, all right, let's try this out. So I maned the Hunger.
You know what? Hunger in a mirror match is really difficult because we're both playing so low to the ground. And in many
You're
cases,
right.
you don't have the. Now, it may not be able to be removed, but neither of us have the ability to make it gigantic very easily.
Yeah.
Like there is some cards,
So
but none of us had rage in our build.
no, we did not. But so here was the thought process, right? Because oh wait, no, I think I messed no, I didn't mess this up. I knew exactly what I was doing. Because here was the fun part, right? Is that you played out the Snowball Commando and exhausted my Pomola.
Hmm.
I actually played out the Studious
And,
Disciple.
and that surprised me. But I get it. If you want to play a spell, you need a body out.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I need to be able to play something. And I had 6 mana at this point. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna send it like 100%. And I ended up playing out the because you had nothing in
Nothing.
hand. You had nothing to
I got
do.
nothing. Yeah, I was bare boned.
Yeah. So I think what I did, I think I ended up playing out the Bravo Signet and ramping and giving 3 boosts.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what it was. I
Yeah.
ramped and then gave 3 boosts because I was like, all right, now we've got something going on here, right?
And yes, and the ramp is just fantastic for you because you're going to after you me as long as we can play because I've got very little to be able to do. But I'm still ahead 3. And my mind goes, okay, can I hold off to be able to win here? My card draw isn't necessarily what I want. I get cards
Yeah.
I really cannot use. I got 2 Nylums.
Which honestly, I really thought about playing my Afanas control deck that I
That
really liked
that's what I thought you were
back in
going
like
to do.
set 2, set 3.
Hmm.
I honestly thought about it. I built both decks out. So I copied my Afanas deck, and then I built this one out. And I'm not even kidding. I'm pretty sure this is called a fan's base.
Oh, mine's
Because I was
called
like,
Afana Kazam.
there you go. I was just like Afon's. I wanted to make it just a pun off of Afanas' name, like a fan's base. Because I was just like, I don't know what this is. Like this is just a nonsense deck. But honestly, Nihilum is such a good
Mhm.
card to play in an exhaust control deck.
It is, but when the nerf happened, a lot of the benefit was in Rhymefrost, and now you
Yeah.
can't get the benefit of Rhymefrost as the one cost card. I ended up still putting something in my mana just so I wasn't so far behind, knowing I've got one Nihilum that I could potentially use.
Yeah.
But you get to go first.
So here's the bad news. Um, is that I oh, let's see here. What happened? So I drew an off you go and another hunger.
Yeah.
So I maned the off you go because I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I have enough stuff in terms of removal with hunger, with an Izmir signet, and with a Bravo
Hmm.
signet. I'm like, I have plenty of removal. I think I'm good without an off you go.
Wow. Especially when everything is so low to the ground, or most things are so low to the ground in Afanas. That's a fantastic card. And
Yeah.
you ended up discarding the Pomola so you can exhaust something in reserve.
Yeah, because I was just like, you know what? Let's just hit his body and just ensure that whatever he has to do has to either be focused on losing the boost from Evanescence or playing whatever he has in hand and maintaining that advantage.
Yep.
But then, of course, I play out the Izmir Signet and I draw a card.
Yeah, you get to choose only one because it's the common in this case. You draw the card. You don't get
Yeah,
the
and I wasn't
benefit of
really
the
too worried
boost.
about it.
And I really had like, well, this Evanescence isn't going to help me. I could only play Nyla. And once again, I'm playing with nothing. Um,
Yeah. Which is again great from I mean, you get the body, which is what you need at this point.
Yeah, I get a body. I ended up playing it on the companion side. It didn't really matter where I played it. I played it on the companion side because I had seen previously that you had not played any cards with Forest. So even if you had stuff, maybe you didn't have Forest, and I would still be able to advance. That's where my mind was going.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, I was just like, well, crap. Let's just do this and see what happens. And the worst part is that you exhausted my Izmir Signet because I was like,
You're gonna
now I'm
play
going
it
to
twice.
sabotage,
Yeah.
get a boost, and I was sweating at this point. This is where I really started to sweat.
Yeah, but you still once again you may have to put too many cards in your hand in your reserve, but it didn't matter. So what did you have left in your hand at this time?
I had the hunger and the Bravo
Okay.
Signet, so I did not have enough mana to play either of them. And you have to remember, I've kept this Bravo Signet from my
From the
opening
beginning,
hand.
you've had
From
three
my
you've
opening hand.
three signets available to you that you kept, two of which
And
you've
I
already
drew
played.
into another one. I drew into another Izmir Signet and a meditation training.
Wow. And in this case, I'm like, I think I've got this. Like, I definitely have this. You're 5 away. But
Yeah, so I
no,
put away the meditation training.
yeah, you got to. And in my, I drew up another Snowball Commando and a Studious Disciple. This time, I'm like, I can't be unlucky twice. That was my mindset. I can't be unlucky
Yeah.
twice. So ended up on my turn with 8 mana. You have 9. One of the problems that happens is I didn't know you had a hunger, but so in my mind, I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'll get rid of one of yours. Roll the dice. I get a 5, so this time I survive. And I'm like, this is looking great. I've got
Yeah.
this in the bag. But
Yeah.
nope.
This was where I saw that hunger from the last turn
Oh,
and I was just like, this is gonna save my entire life.
oh.
So I mean,
And
of course I have to play it,
yeah, well, I had nothing
like
in hand. You wiped the board, and you could potentially go 2-0 if you had a one cost. On my side, looking back, I could have waited to exhaust something, but because it was the you had in your in your reserve you had the Katagirian Mage Dancer. I'm like, I gotta stop that because that can get boosted like so crazy.
It can get boosted like wild,
Hmm.
especially in Afanas. And I would have been able to do it too. I had let's see, Category and Mage Answers 2. Oh no. Yeah, no, I would have been able to exactly do it. I would have been able to get let's see, Categorian by itself is 1 all.
Hmm.
And then if I do Bravo Signet, well, it doesn't because it actually no, this does matter. Because what is Snowball Commando? Snowball Commando is a 3 from hand, 2
It's
from
two.
reserve, or is it
Yeah, two cost.
2?
So 2 and 2 for 0, 3, 2.
Yeah. So here's the fun part, right? Is that no matter what, I could have done either or. Because Bravo Signet lets me return a character to your hand, and then Izmir Signet lets me send it to reserve.
Hmm.
So no matter what, I would have been getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boosts on Category and Mage Dancer, and I would have been getting a ton of removal on top of that
Yeah,
if I needed it,
and
right?
fantastic. And on my like, you didn't have a one cost, so I was like, okay, you only progress once. I'm still only one progression away. You've still got four to go. I'm like, what am I going to draw? I ended up drawing no characters, a magical training, and an off you go.
You're
But
joking.
the
That's
magical
wild.
training gives me a draw,
That's
right?
true.
So what did you
That's
end up
true.
doing on your first turn? Like I was
You
worried
don't
about the
want to
hunger
know.
because it has a lot.
Yeah. Here's where this gets really funny is that I drew my third and final Bravo Signet and a Conjuring Seal.
Oh my goodness.
And you'll never guess what I put to mana.
What did you put in mana?
I put the Conjuring Seal in mana.
Okay, you didn't need as much card draw right now.
No, and that's why I was like, I think I'm sitting pretty with the hunger because even for 6,
Yeah.
that's like it's going to be gigantic. So I was like, I'm not really too worried about that.
Hmm.
So, of course, first thing is first, play out the hunger, right? Might as well get it out right now.
Yeah, and because of its cost, off you go. Of course, doesn't work. I'm like, well, I might as well draw a card, and but and I draw into another magical trait. And this is where it gets really funny for me, for at least this day.
Yeah, so then I ended up playing out the Izmir Signet, and I was like, you know what? Might as well draw a card off of this.
Yeah,
And then gave the boost to
the
and
hunger.
here's the fun part too, right? Is that I forget that because of Afanas' ability, 1-cost spells go straight to discard.
Yeah.
And you know what the beautiful thing about the hunger is?
Yep.
Is that whenever a card hits the
you,
discard,
you get it just
it gets
keeps
a
on pumping
boost.
you up. And what I was doing in this case, I'm like, well, the magical training won't really help me, and maybe what I should have done is just passed, right? And had a magical training in hand, but I was hoping I'd pick up something. Um, but and then I picked up another studious disciple, which would do nothing in this day so far.
Right. So here's the fun part is that I drew into a Scholar's Vault,
Oh,
which
nice.
was just as much mana as I had.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's hit it. And I was like, cool. Everything's going to stay in reserve now. This is
Hmm.
fun. Because I'm not going to lie, 6 gigantic. I was like, I'm kind of worried, but at the same time, I think I'm fine.
Yeah, there are a couple of cards, and remember when we went to Worlds, one of the things we noticed is an Afanas player didn't have any removal for anything that was over 4, over
Yeah.
3 because of your off you go, and it caused them to lose. But in this case, I'm like, all right, I've still got 2 cards in hand. You've got 2 plus all your spells, and now you've got Scholar's Vault. Maybe I'll have a chance, knowing that my deck is very low to the ground, but I did have enough removal. But so what I end up getting is a Caladrius and an off you go. So very, very
Ooh.
cheap
Wow.
bodies.
Gosh, are you
Got
kidding
rid
me?
of.
And you have removal.
So I had a lot of removal, but I
Oh
didn't
my
have much
gosh.
else. What about in your end?
So I drew into a Pomola and another Baba Yaga.
Of-
And here's the fun part. You'll notice something very interesting, Chili, is that I keep choosing to mana.
yes, you do.
And I actually manaed one of the Bravo signets.
Okay, the one you've been holding from the beginning? No, is this one of the?
Here's the thing. I had 2 in hand still.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? 2 bodies plus a Bravo Signet, I think this is where I want to be.
Yeah, and on my end, I really don't have much choice. I've got to play the Studious Disciple. I'm playing it on the hero side because it allows me to at least get one stat in each of the areas that I want. But I'm not feeling very confident. You play out your Baba Yaga, give yourself another card draw, which means in this case, like my Caladrius won't help, but the Off You Go can.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is where I start to get just a little worried.
Yeah,
You know, just a hair.
and I probably played it wrong. Actually, looking at this, I did play it wrong. I should have actually gone and got rid of your Baba Yaga.
Yeah, with the Off You Go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Because
and
here's the fun part
mm-hmm.
is that you Off You Go, right?
Yes.
And you hit my Pomola, which gets sent to reserve. But the fun part is that my reserve is going to stay fully loaded anyway because
Yep.
I have Scholar's Vault out, right? So I'm not really concerned about that because it only sends it to reserve. But then at this point, you have nothing.
I got nothing yet again.
You have absolutely nothing. And so I was like, you know what? Let's make sure that we can keep this. So what I ended up doing, let's see. So I ended up playing the Pomola out again.
Mm-hmm.
Because here was the thought process, right? Is I was like, I have Pomola and I have exactly 4 mana.
Mm-hmm.
So I can either draw or I can get rid of something. And because here's the thing, you're gonna pass the minute I play out this Pomola, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I think here's the plan. I have 2 options, and I chose to draw because I was like, as long as I can block and advance on one side and get a card draw out of this, I think I'll be okay.
I agree. It's a very, very smart play because I could not do anything. And this is what I'm saying is I should have kept the Caladrius in hand because I could have potentially used the Off You Go twice on my side. Not what I did, though. So in this
Yeah,
case, like, if I'm you, I'd be like, I would probably put the boost on the Pomola so then you can go to a region that has 2. You ended up putting the
here's what I
boost,
forgot
though,
though.
on the... Yeah.
So I did the magical training, right? Put the boost on the Baba Yaga, ensured an advance on
You
hero
had to
side.
do it. You had to do that because
Yeah,
otherwise I would have advanced.
correct. But then I remembered, you'll remember this, I forgot that I drew into a magical training.
Oh, and then you got another
So I
magical
play out the
training.
magical training and then put the boost on Pomola,
Nice. So you get the double advance.
ensuring the double.
And my 5 progression advancement is now down to 1.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, to even. I had 5 and now I'm even. I'm like, what the heck is going on? This is not a real game.
Yeah, and here's
Um,
where this gets fun is that you have to discard down
I
now.
know, and I have nothing in
You
hand.
have to discard down. I am sitting so pretty with 3 cards in hand, 2 cards in reserve, and an extra reserve spot. And you have to discard down because I drew into another studious I drew into a studious disciple and another scholar's vault.
Mm.
And so here was the thought process, right? Going into this last because here's the thing.
This
This
is
was
it.
probably going to be the last day,
Hmm.
right? So going into this, I drew into a Katagirian Mage Dancer and a Kurakami.
Oh.
And I was like, there is a god somewhere on this earth, right? And here's where this gets real funny. The entire time, in my head, all I was thinking was play something from hand. That is all you have to do is play something from hand, Chili.
Hmm.
Chili just has to play something from hand, and I can win this game so easy. Because I am doing mental maths at this point. The amount of math going through my brain is ridiculous. You have no idea how badly I'm just like, okay, I counted and recounted, and I was like, I have 12 mana. I have 12 mana because most assuredly I'm sending that Scholar's Vault to mana, right?
Yeah.
100% I'm putting it to mana. I do not need it. And I was like, okay, can I do math correctly? Because
And
Kurakami is 7 from hand. Katagirian Mage Dancer is 2. Studious Disciple is 1. That is 10 mana right there. And Baba Yaga is 2 from reserve. I was like, I can get 4 characters on the field.
Hmm.
And what did you end up drawing into?
So I drew into a Snowball Commando and a Scribbling Starfish. Very so Snowball Commando potential, um,
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble. Like, because you could play out the Karakami day one and you win.
you're right. I probably should have done that if I'm going to be 100% honest. That probably would have been the better play, but I wanted the style kill. Like I wanted the whole. That's why I was like, just play something from hand, Chili. Just play something from hand, and everything will be fine.
And I'm like, I'm not
And
going to
then you
do
didn't.
that. No. It's
Yeah,
quite interesting. Like, because the Karakami, if you do that, then I basically put everything in reserve. And then, but so will your cards. Your cards will go in reserve and be exhausted as well.
exactly. Which
And
is
then
why I
you're
had to
just
play out that.
hoping I had low cost cards that you could overcome.
Yeah,
Um,
which honestly, I should have just done it either way, because playing out the Baba Yaga, um, it ensures me that I at least have one body on the field first,
mhm,
right? I should have immediately then played the Kurakami. I should have done that immediately, because then it forces you to only have one card in hand,
mhm.
like no matter what.
But either way, as you said, stylistically, this is great. So we know you're more than likely going to block me just by playing out the Mage Dancer where you did. On my end, I end up playing my other card from reserve just to see what you would do. Once again, my hero ability is completely disengaged. It's off because I have no spells that can boost it. Um,
Yeah, and then this is where this gets just absolutely brutal. So I
so
play out
you,
the
you
Studious
slow
Disciple.
played me.
I know, and I genuinely should not have. I should not have done it. So then finally, you play something from hand, and I was like, cool, hook, line, and sinker. Finally,
And I
it
was
took
just like,
4 turns to
boom.
get there. And this is the wild thing: is Chili. I want you to know this. Guess what card is the only card I have in hand at this point?
Is one of the signets
It's one of the Bravo signets that I had
from day one.
from day one. We are on day 9, and
Oh my
I have a
goodness.
Bravo signet.
Look at this. You get the win. I was pleasantly surprised but frustrated that like my low cost, low count game did not work. But I loved
By
it.
all
I
accounts,
love
it
this
should
because I'm
have.
just like,
I
yeah,
should have lost this game.
but you didn't.
I don't know how I did that.
I honestly, this is part of the problem that I don't think we get to see very often in the game. Is everyone plays low cost to the ground, and in many cases you're never really punished. And this is an example of where you're punished because if your opponent is able to play things that are a little bit more expensive, then if you are at a card disadvantage, at least you've got the ability of progressing because your stats are better.
Yeah.
And what you saw in mine is because I didn't get any cards that could draw. Nothing came that gave me benefits because I was
You
trying to
did get
play.
your 2. I think you got 2 magical trainings in there, but the problem is that they
They just
didn't really do
replaced
you
themselves
anything.
because of
Yeah.
Afanas. But my whole game plan was focused about exhausting, and I didn't get any of the cards to exhaust once I had the what is it called, the Nihilum out, because then you got rid of it through
The
the home
Nihilum
card.
out.
But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well done on the gameplay, fantastic work. What this means though is I am very much behind on this one, and your deck, as you're looking at it here, worked really well. The balance of the signets really helped you a ton in terms of how you ended up playing.
It really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
now
was
you can
honestly
gloat. Now
surprised
you can
though.
gloat. You were
I
ahead.
can. So here's the funniest part too, is that we talk about like low curve, right?
Hmm.
And the issue with low curve is that more than likely you are always and this is like the issue that I am finding with Afanas and most of Izmir right now, right? Is that you can play low curve and that's totally fine, but unless you have sufficient card draw, you are gonna run out of gas so fast.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with like and this is kind of how I saw it like looking back is like the minute I played out the Baku and had you discard a card from hand, that was the end of the game.
Yeah. I
That
agree.
was the beginning of the end.
I agree because you also had you didn't have here anything that really sabotaged, but I was also expecting sabotage in your deck, and I'm like, if
Yeah.
I don't have card draw and I'm privy to being exhausted or losing cards from reserve, it's going to be rough. And I still thought I'd be able to get the win given I was so far ahead, but it shows the importance of having cards.
Yeah, exactly. Like and people might laugh at me for playing the Scholars Vault out, but I was like, genuinely, not having to discard something from reserve
Hmm.
is huge in this game. Like having an extra reserve slot is massive,
Yeah.
especially if you're a Afanas and playing or like any deck that cares about spells, right? Or like what's in your reserve. So
Well, congratulations. We've gone through the first round of 4 for each faction that we're going to go through. You are now
oof.
leading, and we'll do this with a little video in the background. 2-4. Congratulations, Nick. You have got your 4 heroes
This
there.
is the peak.
It
This is the best it's gonna get for me. It's gonna go all downhill from here. I can feel it in my bones.
And the next deck we're going to look at is Sierra. My 2 characters are feeling a little lonely. Let's see if I can do something better than this. I'm not showing much poise right now, though.
Honestly, I feel so unprepared for Sierra. I checked my deck lists. I have 0 Sierra decks built.
Oh, really? I like Sierra, but
None.
I'm scared to play in these days.
I like Subash
because-
more.
Oh, Subash is good. Well,
Yeah.
Subash is fun. I wouldn't call him good.
That's
But well done. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
I've got a long way to go to climb back and hopefully make this competitive.
Yeah, we gotta trust me. We've got 24 heroes. I think you can do it.
Congratulations again, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Hasta luego.